Hello everyone and welcome to another Cheese of the Week. This is TCF Nick showing you a match specific cheese. This is a PvZ specific cheese that I've been doing lately around Diamond and Masters level. I was recently demoted on my main account from Masters to Diamond, but I still have a couple Smurfs in Masters right now. Anyway, this cheese was taught to me by a High Masters player, and the point of it was to get around the whole uncertainty with the Roachling all ends early and Forge Fast expands as Pro Toss. It could be a really big problem trying to anticipate what Zerg is going to throw at you if you take a quick second. So this is a way to take to one base, kind of like a 3-gate expand, but do so in a way that can win games quickly and, if not, give you a good follow-up. So anyway, this starts with a normal 1-base build. This is pylon at the ramp, 9 pylon. I'm going to build a gateway and cybernetics core there like normal. I'm scouting out just to scout against any kind of 6 pools or anything too cheesy from Zerg that I see on this map every once in a while. This is one of the new maps, by the way, so there was a pretty critical mistake or lesson learned in this that I'll point out to you guys when we see it. But anyway, I'm just doing my normal early game shenanigans, stopping the really early hatch. I cancel this pylon just as it finishes. Getting my 1-gate down. Again, this looks like a normal 3-gate expand build, and that's what throws Zerg off here. As mentioned, this works against Masters opponents, but also works against very high Masters opponents. And lower leagues it might not. The gist of this is a DT rush, but we'll see exactly how it goes a little later. Here, I'm canceling these pylons, just trying to delay his second hatch as much as possible. Zerg is supply block now. I put down a cybernetics core. Everything looks normal. I did get 2 quick gas. Just how quick you can get them kind of depends on how much you're harassing. The important thing is to get a gateway and cybernetics core down. So I'm going to pause the game right here and show you what I did. I took a probe. One of my initial scouting probes, put them in one corner of the map, and the idea here is that I want to hide from any overlord paths. So I figured overlords will be going around the edges here, going through the middle. I want to just move out of the way from any sight of overlords. Now, the big mistake here is that I'm near the tower, so when Lynx take the tower, they see my cheese coming. And that's a big problem. This is going to be for the Twilight Council and for the Dark Shrine. I usually put these down before the gateways. After I start Warp Gate research, but you have to cancel or you have to chrono out Warp Gate research if you want to get it out in time. Anyway, I have a 4th gateway because I have a little bit of extra gas. I'm being a little greedier than normal. What you want to do is disguise this as a 3-gate expand build. So you get a Stalker and a Sentry out, put a pylon on the low ground, a Forge down here, and you hope Zerg scouts it, sees that you're expanding, and does a normal follow-up. So what Zerg is doing here is a standard Roach build, put in production, and my Dark Shrine is almost finished. I'm trying to put a proxy pylon pretty much anywhere. I don't care if this falls. What I want to do is just be able to warp as quickly as possible. So if Lair Tech is on the way, I get there before it finishes, or just get there for maximum impact. So getting a pylon close is important. But what we don't see here is that Zerg sees exactly what I'm doing and throws down Spore Crawlers. So this sounds like it's going to be a failed cheese since I'm sending 4 DTs to his base. I skipped out on building an early sentry. Oh, and this is just bad control. I take 2 of the DTs, try to split them between his 2 bases, then I try to target fire the Spore Crawler. That's just a big mistake here. My DT rush has essentially failed. He scouted it. What I should have done is put this back in the mineral line a little bit. It might have been picked up by an overlord poking in, but the tower I think is an easier target for Zerg. Anyway, what happens here is I try to reuse, this is always a transition plan out of the initial DTs. I try to use the Twilight Council to make speed lots and crank out as many Archons as I can from those DTs. DT Archons are known as expensive Archons because they cost a lot more just in total than standard High Templar Archons. which are just gas intensive. The DT ones are also mineral intensive. So if you're going for a Zealot Archon mix, usually you want to put down a regular High Templar Archives as opposed to a Dark Shrine, because it'll give a lot less. It'll give you a lot more minerals for Zealots. Anyway, I've still got my initial gateways. I'm cranking out Twilight Council research. What Zerg could do now is just attack really early. They should have me, but a lot of times Zerg is afraid to attack with DTs on the field. Works to my advantage, so they wait for Lair Tech and an Overseer. Anyway, I really need this charge to finish, so I'll warp in Zealots, DTs, whatever I can to try and distract the Lings. I don't know why Zerg let me get it for that long, but anyway, charge is finished. I chroned it out. Now I'm going to pop out as many DTs as I can. And again, Zerg makes another critical mistake by leaving my shrine up, which, you know, now that the shrine doesn't need to be powered for anything at all, I can still crank out DTs with that. Anyway, let me just show you how the rest of this game wraps up. Again, I had a really big disadvantage. I lost, as you can see, 1,300 minerals worth of stuff. I killed, looks like exactly 0 workers with my cheese. And I'm almost supply blocked, so I don't know what Zerg's been doing, but the standard Roachling play, he's been timid with it because of the potential for DTs. But I'm not making any more DTs. I'm making Archons. And I have 1 DT left over for a little DPS, but if I get a second, I'll convert that into an Archon. I'll speed this up a little bit, see what's going on, watch him kill this, and I'll warp in as many DTs as I can just before it falls. Because the Zealots here are going to be more... I'm going to need the Archons as a backbone, but Zealots are going to be the buffers, so... The idea is to get as many Archons as possible, but buffer with all the rest Zealots. Use all the rest of the minerals on Zealots. Anyway, he's pumping out some Hydras. I don't know why. Hydras are not very good against Archons, unless you get them in mass, especially with speedlots. And here's, I think, where I get a little bit lucky. I saw this this group of units just kind of running around killing pylons. I saw it with my probe that went out to build forward pylons, and I went for a surround. So I got kind of lucky here and managed to pick off all these units. Let's look at the loss tab right beforehand. 181. And with roaches grouped up like that, the Archons do a lot of splash, so it was very beneficial on my part. Oh, so now I see a large army. Let the Zealots lead, and the Archons shoot over them. Unit control here is a little rough, but it does the job. And that's it. Even though my DTs were caught, the point of this build is that I have a viable transition, and that's Archon Speedlock. So I'll pause it here, or speed it up till the end, actually. And that was it. The Zerg player left. No GG, because it was a little cheesy, so I don't blame him, but a viable build, even if the initial DTs get completely thwarted, even if you're scouted. Zerg makes some critical mistakes here, but we'll see some other games where Zerg plays a little bit better.